and welcome to a hot new Polly's Peep Show. We're gonna be having a look at the demo for This Magical Girl is a Bitch. How you doing? This one just looks immediately charming, but I just have to say, dear developer, your logo reminds me of the Moon Pie logo. I mean, just so you know, That's not a bad thing. Anybody that knows me knows I'm big into moon pies, but this is a cool looking, just immediately charming looking VN that caught my eye during the Steam Next Fest. So I decided to do that thing that I do and give it a look. I'm not gonna be doing an exhaustive look at this demo. I don't know if this thing has more than like one ending. I don't even know if it's complete. We're just going to go until the game stops me, and then we'll stop there because I don't know that I want to spoil everything about what this game's doing yet, because this one looks kind of like, I don't know, I might already be into this one. I might already like this one, and I don't want to spoil too much of it if I'm gonna grab it when it comes out officially. But as you can see, this thing's just oozing with style. It's got a very cute Western cartoon influence, which I'm very excited for. I see so many visual novels or anime inspired. So seeing something that's a little different just on the surface already is always just a nice thing. And that's not a dig at any style at all. It's just always nice having a variety. We'll have a look here at the credits, of course, to see who is responsible. There's a lot of very cool people here, no doubt. Look at all of these lovely people made this very cool looking video game. We've got voice actors. Look at us go. That's less reading for me. I'm already a big fan. All right, so this was made with Ren'Py. Man, I think the last version of Ren'Py I used was like 6.4 for her lullaby and afterward. But anyway, let's just get going. It was a dark and stormy Monday. Like any other day of autumn, the weather was overcast and windy, but the students of Middling Middle School were unfazed by the gloom. For the first day of school after a weekend, the hallways were unusually charged with an electric excitement and spooktacular anticipation.
And last but certainly not least, today marks the first day of Halloween Spirit Week. Ooh, it's time to decorate your homeroom.
Get hype! Oh my god, they're air horning. All right. Can already get the tone. We're literally one line into the game. Also, don't play a lot of VNs with English voice acting. So it was, again, interesting little surprise I was not expecting. The students collectively groaned.
First place gets a prize.
You get so used to hearing Japanese voice actors while doing these things, and sometimes it just completely takes you a few minutes to acclimate to hearing your own language spoken to you.
That's right. The first place class gets their own pumpkin pie and ice cream party. So put your best effort in, everyone.
I would have gone with another air horn there, especially during the pumpkin pie and ice cream party. Just, you know, put that in the background. That would have been me. Big fan of pumpkin pie and ice cream, though.
If you want.
Sad PA guy.
More info online or, you know, around. Yeah, keep an eye out for those Spirit Week posters, y'all. Happy spooky season, mascots.
I heard Mrs. Ramirez's class had something really good planned for their deco. Like guaranteed when good.
Oh, what you got? They're gonna be, are they Juggalo themed? Is that it? They're gonna be Juggalos, aren't they?
Yeah. They're just trying to intimidate us by spreading rumors. Besides, remember last year? Everyone said that one homeroom class had it in the bag, but then there was that fire.
Oh, good!
Oh yeah, the 8-foot skeleton incident?
Exactly. Did they ever find out who let that skunk loose?
I don't think so.
This sounds like they were having a real good time last year. I don't know what anybody's complaining about.
Well, the point is, who knows what'll happen this year?
I guess we do have a lot of talented people in our class, like...
Oh, hey, Tabby!
Hey, it's Tab! Look at her! I think she's already amazingly adorable. She's got a little grump face going on, though. Somebody pressed her grump button already, but this is me on a Monday, even in school. You know, whether it's school or reporting to work, this is me on a Monday. This is pretty good. This is Renpai. I can press. Yeah! Look at this. This is such a clean and nice art style. I just love this. This is a feast for the eyes.
Good morning, Tabby.
Tabby was not having a good morning. In fact, Tabby never had a good morning when she was at school. There were too many people looking her way, watching her every move, waiting for her to trip up so they could laugh at her.
They're always sneering at me. Like they think their little cliques are too good for me.
Hey, Tabby!
Like I'm less than them. Less than human.
Man, Tabby is so cool.
Okay.
Yeah, the real aloof type. Like a spy or a secret agent. Or somebody who's undercover.
Pretty sure those are all the same thing.
I always want to ask her to hang out, but I'm like super intimidated. Think she would say yes?
Just because we're in the same homeroom? Not a chance. Way too cool for us.
Tabby grew out of wanting friends fast. Endless bullying will do that to someone. Oh dear. Okay, I see what we're doing here. She couldn't even imagine being that naive anymore. Tabby was fully aware that this was her destiny, to be alone, unwanted, forcibly isolated.
Excuse me. Need to get to my locker. Hello? You good?
Molten rage and mild embarrassment bubbled up from Tabby's core as she stared into the face of her ultimate nemesis, Eden! Eden something or other. Last names didn't matter. It was how he treated her that made her seethe with frustration.
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him! Always ready to tear me down at the first sign of weakness. I can see it in his eyes now. He's going to.
Listen, are you gonna move or do I have to move you?
That is kind of a confrontational way of putting things, but I don't know that he's proven to be all that awful just yet.
I don't want to be late to class. Come on, let me through.
Was that a threat?
Oh, geez.
What?
Tabby slapped a hand on her mouth, worrying she had thrown herself in unnecessary danger. Who knew how bullies like Eden might react to her being questioned? She looked around in vain at the crowd milling around them, not seeing a single friendly face.
I can't trust any of these bystanders to stand up for me. If only there was a teacher around.
Is that the bell? I'm just gonna go for it. Excuse me.
Tabby watched in horror as Eden reached for her. Ah! Defend yourself! We are in danger! Ow. Before she even knew what was happening, Tabby's hand moved on a defensive instinct, making contact with Eden's face. Get slapped, bitch! I just got a bitch slap achievement for that. Yep. Popped up in Steam before that one, though. Ow!
I was just trying to defend myself. You were going to hurt me.
It's a reasonable assumption.
Who's screaming? What's going on here? Come on, kids. Class is almost starting. Why are the two of you still loitering around?
Recognizing the sound of her homeroom teacher's voice, Tabby spun around, searching for his authoritative presence.
Mr. Teacher, did you see him?
Sorry, Teach. Tabby just wouldn't move.
He literally beat the shit out of her. Around them, the hallway was rapidly emptying out, and as stragglers and witnesses fled to their respective classrooms.
I just need to get my books. Promise.
Is there a reason you can't move away from Eden's locker, Tabby?
Tabby gawked incredulously at her homeroom teacher and then stepped off to the side, shaking her head no.
How could Mr. Teacher take the side of a known bully?
How oblivious is this girl? Jesus Christ. Honestly, she should have known. No one would be on her side, not even the ones in charge.
Since I'm on my way to class too, and I have the worst headache from moving pumpkins all morning across campus, I'll give you all a pass. You better be in your seats by the time I get there, but no running. That includes you too, Caleb. I know you're just waiting for your friends, but don't let them make you late.
Caleb? Oh, hello, Caleb. For a second, Tabby considered speaking up and pleading her case, but the moment passed as quickly as it came. Mr. Teacher didn't bother to linger, all but jogging off to greet a different group of students. Tabby stared sullenly at his back before walking briskly in the direction of her classroom.
All right, settle down, kids.
Are we in Japan? I feel like maybe if this isn't Japan, I've literally never heard that bell anywhere but Japan. This might be my own, like, cultural ignorance, however. I felt like it, like, if, I don't know where this story takes place. It could be literally anywhere, but I had just kind of assumed that it was an American story, maybe? But that's probably just me being an American and assuming that everything, and rightly assuming that everything is about and revolves around me. Mr. Teacher attempted to rein in his class in at least 15 minutes. Every year, the students would get too excited about Halloween Spirit Week and pay attention. This year was no different. Finally, things fell quiet enough for him to launch into his 3-part lesson on the history of Halloween.
Halloween originated from the pagan festival Samhain, which marked the end of the harvest and the dwindling barrier between humans and the other world.
Isn't this pronounced Samhain? I could swear that that's Samhain, not Samhain. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're both. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and call cultural ignorance here. Maybe that's it.
It's easy to forget about all of that in the modern-day Halloween traditions, but if you take a closer look, you'll see that many have deeper historical roots. It's really quite fascinating stuff.
Even so, some of the kids continued to discuss the Halloween plans under their breath.
I can't wait for you guys to see how awesome I made my costume for the Halloween party. The lady with the super freaky haunted house on my block helped me design it.
I still can't decide whether to be a zombie werewolf or a vampire ghost. Unless... Do you think I could be a zombie werewolf vampire ghost?
You can be at the grocery store. You can be at the nail salon. You can be at the combination grocery store and nail salon. So you could probably pull this off. Hey, how's it going, Aiden?
Are we talking costumes? $20, my monster costume is the scariest.
How fitting for the bully to love terrifying people.
Your face already scares me.
Damn, get him, Tabby! Jesus Christ, you don't need to dumpster him on a Monday morning. The other kids laughed in surprise too, which caught Mr. Teacher's attention.
Is something funny? Tabby, do you have something to share with the class?
Her facial expressions are to die for. Tabby felt her stomach drop as the whole class turned to stare at her. Of course, he let his favorite students get away with talking during class, but not her. Tabby tried to swallow the lump forming in her throat, but she just became more nervous by the second.
I think we're all just excited to dress up for Halloween. I know I can't wait to decorate homeroom.
That's great, but I still have 30 more exciting slides about Halloween throughout the decades.
The class collectively groaned. Tabby breathed a quiet sigh of relief.
It's really quite interesting. There's fascinating tie-ins with the Day of the Dead and the glorious gourds of harvest. I could wax poetic about it.
I think you should.
You already gave this presentation before.
Well, I did more research, and now I have extra footnotes.
The class collectively groaned again.
Oh, fine. I don't know how I was supposed to have a normal class this week anyway. Why don't we put a twist on it by giving historical context to our proposed decorations?
What, reenact the Salem witch trials?
That's a cool idea. We could pretend to burn you.
Damn! Mess with the bull and you got the horns on that one, Tabby.
What? He totally just threatened me in front of the class. Surely Mr. Teacher won't let that slide.
I'm loving all these little incidental animations as well. Doing a real good job at making this very cartoon-like and dynamic.
Yeah, Tabby would be such a good witch.
I don't know if the school board would approve of that.
School board does not yet approve of burning students. Not even ritually.
Brush it off?
God, her
All right, kids,
reactions and
I'll start
faces are
dividing
so
the class
good.
decoration types into groups and share a mini lesson about each of them. So, listen up. For instance, why do you think pumpkins became associated with Halloween? There's something else that's happening around the same time.
Harvest?
Can anyone take a guess? If you want to take care of the jack-o'-lanterns, try and answer.
Eager hands shot up in the air. Mr. Teacher picked out one of them.
Because it's harvest season?
Ding, 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 ding! You got it! Harvest season is decorative gourd season, folks. Carving pumpkins was a tradition before Halloween, but the term jack-o'-lantern started with Stingy Jack, an Irish legend that will give you the heebie-jeebies.
I don't know if I want the heebie-jeebies. You can keep them heebies and jeebies to yourself. Tabby tuned Mr. Teacher out as he continued his lecture, only listening in for what decoration was being offered. Mr. Teacher moved on to the next decoration and then the next, until finally...
Why do you think Halloween was associated with death? Whoever gets this one gets to be in charge of making all of our skulls and skeletons.
I'm gonna guess the plague probably took place at some point and just kind of got lumped in, maybe? Tabby was never a class participation kind of girl, but now her hand flew into the air. Look at how determined she is. She's even got a little jump going on there. Ooh, 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 ooh. Mr. Teacher looked at Tabby, eyebrows raised in acknowledgement. By some Halloween miracle, she could see her name forming on his lips.
Probably because winter is coming, right? Back then, lots of people died in the winter.
That's correct, Eden. Winters 2,000 years ago meant...
I mean, dang, he totally did steal her thunder there. I'm not gonna lie. Like, she was the one time she was actually excited to answer a question, and she just gets dumpstered. Tabby seethed at the injustice of it all.
How could they do this to me?
Tabby was the one with a special connection to skeletons, but every single year. Well, only last year, but... Last year, Eden swept in and snatched away what she wanted, what she deserved.
Hey, I had my hand up. He interrupted.
Mr. Teacher looked at Tabby, taken aback, as if he forgot she even existed.
Oh, well, you can answer the next question.
Tabby glared at him. She didn't want to let this go, but everyone was staring at her, and her stupid cheeks were getting redder and redder.
That's just stupid. It's not fair.
Even as Tabby clapped a hand to her mouth at her outburst, Mr. Teacher raised an eyebrow in judgment. The angry part of Tabby wished she could smack the disapproving expression off his face, but her frustration withered away as she crumpled into herself, heart sinking.
I'll always be the first to get picked on, and the last pick for everything else.
Hey, I feel you. I relate.
How about you let me continue the lesson and the two of you can work together? This is Spirit Week, and I really don't want to give any detentions for disrupting class.
Sounds cool. I'm sure Tabby will come up with something really freaky. You know, given how into this stuff she is.
Oh yeah, totally. She's the type to freak people out. It's awesome.
I don't think that I don't think that anything they're saying here is necessarily bad. I just think she has Hinamizawa syndrome.
Too bad Tabby works alone.
Like Batman. Ooh, or the Joker.
Eden grinned at Tabby. Tabby felt a horrified shiver run down her spine as she braced herself for what was coming.
She looks like him too, if you turned his smile upside down.
Dang, y'all! The other students tittered at the typical middle school, in a typical middle school fashion.
Hey, for real, Tabby would be the best villain.
She'd be a pretty good villain. I mean, she's got a pretty good villain origin story from the looks of it.
They're laughing at me now. They're all laughing at me because of him.
Settle down, class. And that's not nice, Eden.
Only joking. Tabby got me good earlier too. That's just how we do, right, Tabs?
Eden held out a fist toward Tabby. Tabby fixed him with her best death glare. Classic
Tabby.
vintage Tabby.
Well, Tabby, if you want, you can work with Eden and...
I am not working with Eden.
There's still a couple of other decorations up for grabs.
She scowled at Mr. Teacher.
He's still picking Eden over me? Why? Why do they all love him so much? What do they see in a bully like him?
Tabby wanted to puke. The class moved on, but Tabby just sat reliving that feeling of everyone laughing at her. Is Tabby a bitch? Or is Tabby just like experiencing typical teenage insecurity and having difficulty fitting in and low self-esteem perhaps? Things of that nature. Soon all the decorations were assigned and the class split off into their working groups. Slowly, the room began to look more and more spooktacular. As a reward for their hard work, Mr. Teachers went around handing out spooky stickers, spouting Halloween historical facts all the while. But of course, he skipped over Tabby entirely.
Hey, how come Tabby isn't helping?
Psst. Tabby, do you want to join my group?
Tonathan is a great name, by
Not
the
too
way.
late to team up if you want to do skeletons.
Boy, we just can't accept anybody's. Fuck it, man, we're all in. Fucking hate Eden. They were clearly taunting her. No point in staying around a bunch of bullies. Tabby started packing up her backpack, watching the clock anxiously to try to be the first one out of class when the bell rang.
I really think you should have been the one to do skeletons. We can talk to Mr. Teacher together if you like.
Oh? Do we have an ally? Tabby's mind struggled to make sense of what was happening.
Wait, is he talking to me? What was his name again?
She had never even spoken to this popular kid before, much less seen him approach her general vicinity.
He's not making fun of me, is he?
You know, I bet he is.
Listen, you're not the only one Eden's burned before.
Uh-oh. Tabby, are you about to get pulled into some shit?
Maybe together, we can finally knock him down a peg.
This isn't a trick, is it?
I am Calum, and this is no trick. I'll stand by your side.
I don't think anyone named Calum is up to anything good. That is just not a name that rolls off the tongue, and I immediately think, there's a good person. I bet you are the antagonist. Calum patted Tabby on the shoulder, and she recoiled, almost hissing at him. Personal space, please! I'm with her on that. But then, oddly enough, Tabby felt a tingle on her shoulder where he had touched her, like there were butterflies dancing on her skin. Gross. She wasn't developing a crush, was she? Calum gave her a small smile.
So what do you say? Shall we tackle this together?
Wasn't that what she had always wanted? To have someone see her, really see her as a person worth talking to? Now here was someone who was ready to back her up. At last!
Okay, we can stay behind after class then.
Perfect. I'll get Eden to stick around and we can tell Mr. Teacher what happened.
What? No! Just the two of us. I don't want him around.
No. Tabby, trust me, he needs to be there.
Oh, we're just getting pulled into this kid's stupid shit. Like, he's already got, like, a legit beef, and it's probably really stupid with Eden. And like, yeah, this is all a dumb middle school misunderstanding nonsense. It's great.
No! He'll just ruin everything by charming Mr. Teacher, like always. I'm not going if Eden is.
Tabby crossed her arms.
All right, as you wish.
Calum inclined his head at Tabby in thoughtful agreement. The students all continued excitedly working on their decorations. Soon the classroom was really starting to bring that Halloween spirit to life. Look at it, they're really nailing it. That's not the button you press for that. There we go. They're really nailing it here. Tabby sat back in her seat, almost vibrating in place with sudden energy. She barely heard Mr. Teacher announce to class that it was time to clean up. Not long after, the bell rang. The other students shuffled out the door until there was only Caleb and Tabby left. Tabby turned her critical gaze toward Mr. Teacher and prepped herself to approach. Music is also, like, really on point. They're kind of nailing everything here, like, in terms of presentation. Like, this is really solid so far. Mr. Teacher hummed to himself, trying to ignore the grouchy elephant in the room. He reminded himself that he became a teacher because he wanted to inspire the next generation. He genuinely cared about his lessons and wanted everyone to enjoy his classes. But for reasons out of his control, kids could be real shithead. You ain't that. Yes, absolutely. There were kids who tuned his lessons out, kids who rolled their eyes at everything he said, even kids who managed to scowl at him for a full hour. Kids like Tabitha Bones. Her expression had been so disarming, so spooky, that he had been nervous to even go near her. Now she was standing in front of his desk with her arms crossed and an equally wicked scowl on her face. What reason did she have to glower at him? If anything, if the horror stories from the other teachers were to be believed, rumor has it that last year, a girl with a permanently gloomy demeanor had attempted to bring her own butcher bones in to decorate for Halloween. While the girl in question didn't have any bones in hand now, Mr. Teacher willed himself to be brave. He cleared his throat once, twice. Got both of those, good job. Then to compliment the voice actor there on that, just those were very believable. Throat clearing.
Tabby, can I help you?
That tone. Tabby took a deep breath, sensing the reservations Mr. Teacher had toward her. She was glad Caleb was with her.
I don't think you should let Eden decorate skeletons instead of me.
Mr. Teacher stared at her in stunned silence. Tabby sped onwards, afraid to lose her courage.
He's clearly a bully, and if you side with him, you're a bad teacher.
I don't know that this is the angle I would have gone at. Mr. Teacher furrowed his brow, lip trembling ever so slightly. Ouch! He was hurt by Tabby's words more than either of them probably expected. She could probably sniff out his people-pleasing tendencies. But he could just as easily put those away, especially to call out students who had stepped out of line.
Look, I'm not sure why you wouldn't let Eden get to his locker, or why you said he was scary looking. Yes, I heard what you said.
Tabby glared at him, readying herself for an accusation. An accusation? Mr. Teacher braced himself against his desk, trying to remain calm at the obvious hatred being beamed towards him.
I don't know what's going on between the two of you, but I'm going to call Eden here and we can resolve this once and for all.
That is exactly what we didn't want!
No, I don't want to be near him. I want you to listen. Caleb agrees with me too.
Tabby gestured at the spot next to her, only to be met with empty... Well, that's just great. Mr. Teacher's frown deepened as he flexed his fingers in agitation. What kind of bluff was she trying to pull? There were no other students left in the room.
I'm sure we can resolve this right now.
Oh dear. Mr. Teacher got up from his desk, glad to be out of range from Tabby's burning gaze. He poked his head out of the classroom, hoping Eden hadn't wandered off already. Luckily, the boy was still close by, standing with a familiar green-haired oh, jeez. Mr. Teacher felt vindicated at seeing Caleb out in the hallway. Clearly, Tabby had been mistaken when she said Caleb was at her side.
Eden, could you step inside for a moment?
Eden raised his eyebrows, but didn't hesitate to re-enter the classroom.
What's this about?
Oh, jeez.
No!
No! Use your words,
Use
Tabby.
your words,
Use
Tabby.
your words, Tabby, not guttural utterances. Tabby exhaled loudly. From the outside, she appeared to be flaring her nostrils in deep frustration.
You took the decorations I wanted. Again!
Eden shrugged.
No biggie. Let's do it together after class.
But he seems perfectly amiable here. Am I wrong in that Eden seems like, where's the turn? Like, where's the other shoe drop where it turns out that people are actually actively shitty toward her? Also, I need to turn on the AC. It's burning up in here. This is a very professional way to conduct business, mind you. That's how all the best, how all the best VTubers do it, right? I step away from the mic to breathe or something like that. All right, don't worry. AC's on. You probably can't hear it, but that's fine. It got hot all of a sudden. It has been like 68, 69 degrees. Nice. All day. Hello, phone. My phone is... Now I'm getting a text message, and I'm going to actively answer it. All right. Anyway, now that all that's taken care of.
No biggie. Yes, biggie.
Yeah, there's an expression.
You get what you want.
It's the Charlie Brown. Ah! It's such a good one, man.
Huh? Like when?
You get away with everything. Like that time you put gum in my hair and I had to cut off my pigtail.
Okay, if that actually happened, that's pretty messed up.
When did I do that? I haven't even chewed gum since the 3rd grade. Oh, wait. Oh,
you did it in 3rd grade. This girl's holding grudges, baby. She's waited 4 years for this.
That was you? I totally forgot.
Okay, okay, you know what? If somebody put gum in my hair and I had to cut off my pigtails, I'd be pretty goddamn pissed too.
That's it? Do you have any idea how long it took to grow it back?
And you even overcompensate. You can tell she's like, it really stuck with her too, because look at her hair now. She's just let this shit go the whole time, which I'm one to talk. Again, I've got hair down to the small of my back. And that's so much to deal with in terms of washing. So me and Tabby, we got some stuff in common here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's not funny. And Caleb agrees.
Caleb? What's Caleb got to do with this?
What's Caleb got to do? Mr. Teacher pinched the bridge of his nose, feeling an odd tingling at his brow, like a headache was settling in, or worse, a migraine. Oh dear. Achievement, headache inducing. Children were always so noisy, all the noise. He hoped they would settle down soon, not that they ever did. Never fast enough, never listening to his pleas to be quiet.
Be quiet.
But...
Be quiet.
Mr. Teacher's getting upset! Tabby and Eden both fell silent, unused to this harsher tone from their homeroom teacher.
There. Was that so hard?
No, it didn't need to be. All those years of being a doormat for kids much too young to know better than him. Mr. Teacher felt waves of resentment wash over him, bubbling up from so many instances of holding his tongue and being the adult in the room. That's right, he was in charge, not them. He needed to reclaim his space and authority.
Both of you, get out.
Oh, damn.
Teach? You look a bit weird. You know, pukey.
Using Mr. Teacher as a distraction, I see.
That was low, even for Eden.
Please, get out.
Mr. Teacher's voice was strained and whispery, even probably hurt his feelings.
Alright. See you later, Teach.
What a jerk.
Mr. Teacher clutched his head, gritting his teeth.
Oh, should I get a nurse?
He didn't trust himself to speak. Instead, he shut his eyes tight, hoping Tabby would be magically gone when he opened them again. Hover awkwardly in silence. Let's hover awkwardly. He could hear Tabby shuffling from foot to foot in front of his desk. It also sounded like she was opening her mouth and closing it again every few seconds, which irritated him even more. Shuffling stopped, but she had already gotten on his last nerve. Mr. Teacher snapped open his eyes. The sight of Tabby still standing around and glaring at him made his blood pressure spike. Why was this brat still here? Hadn't he told her to leave? She never listened, always thinking she was in the right, always thinking she knew best. A little brat like her? The tingling got worse, making it harder for Mr. Teacher to think clearly. This was getting weird. Are we gonna like dive into like child abuse or something? Like maybe there's something here to some of the things that are bothering this child. Only one line of thought made it through the mental fog.
Mr. Teacher?
Tabby shrunk back fearfully as Mr. Teacher smiled a too wide smile with too many teeth.
You brats just love testing my patience, don't you?
Oh dear.
Bad students get detention, but that would be a bigger punishment for me than you.
Oh no.
After all, children who don't listen are no better than vermin.
Oh, I think like somebody has finally snapped.
And as we know from history, vermin deserve a far worse punishment.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Can you guess what that is?
It's not a permanent nap time. Tabby backed away, bumping immediately into a desk. The blood seemed to drain from her face.
Oh, come on, Tabby. There's a fun little sticker in it for you.
Oh, yo, dog, stickers? Yo, you actually got one. You didn't get one before.
Tabby, you should have paid more attention in class instead of scowling all the time.
That's what your gravestone's gonna say when I'm through with you.
The answer is...
A low growl reverberated in Mr. Teacher's chest as his skin turned a splotchy green and bumps emerged from his arms.
Extermination!
Oh, jeez! There's actual monsters now! Mr. Teacher lunged at Tabby! Tabby jumped out of the way as Mr. Teacher's brand new claws just barely missed his arm.
Claws?
Her arm, my bad. I can't read sometimes, especially when it comes to very simple words. The desk that Tabby had been standing in front of previously crumpled up like construction paper beneath Mr. Teacher's weight. Oh yeah, this is probably a bad thing. No, what landed and stared at Tabby from the wreckage with cool reptilian eyes was not Mr. Teacher. Instead... Oh my God. Mr. Teacher, what has happened? There are so many people on Twitter right now that are getting ready to pick up that tablet, to grab that stylus. And let's just say Fur Affinity is about to get a whole new category of character. Welcome. Keep right clicking. That's what you do. He or it lunged at her once more. She dove under the nearest desk, but didn't dare to stay put there. With the image of the newly made desk pancake fresh in her mind, she started crawling as fast as her poor athletic record allowed. That was a pretty good. That would make a real good burp, Mr. Monster. Tabby glanced to her side, only to see the desk that she was under fly across the room. It hit the wall, splintering on impact. With desperation and fear coursing through her, Tabby scrambled to her feet.
Please, 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 please.
Gunning for the classroom door, Tabby pounced on the doorknob.
Of course, it's locked.
Who locked it?
Of course. Why would it work? Everything else seems to be going wrong. Why not this too?
This is like literally me today. I had to replace all the tires on my car because for some reason they would not pass inspection. I really doubt that that's the thing. I really doubt that they would pass inspection. I just feel like inspection stickers and garages are a fucking racket. And a couple other things just kind of did not settle well for me today. This is my day today, so I'm kind of like with Tabby today, not gonna lie. From behind, she could hear Barb snarling before a dark shape sailed overhead, smashing into the wall a foot above her. The pulverized debris of what had once been a desk rained down on her. Tabby shrieked and covered her head. She tried the doorknob again, despite knowing it was no use.
Someone! Help!
Tabby whipped around, pressing herself into the door like she might be able to phase through it. The monster approached her with a bloodthirsty aura and clever eyes. He had her cornered, and he knew it. At the sight of her messed up, misshapen, uncanny, too-sharp grin, Tabby's legs gave out, like her body knew the fight was going to be over soon. She couldn't blame them. Everyone always abandoned her in the end. Why try anymore?
It's useless. I'm useless.
She couldn't do anything. She never could. Why did she even think she could? It's not like Mr. Teacher was ever going to listen. He never had before. So why would this time be any different? That was a meaty growl there. All right, Mr. Voice Actor. You did a fantastic job on that one. She just wished for once in her miserable life someone would have really, truly stayed by her side. Yo!
Hiya, Tabby.
Hello?
What the crap?
Yeah, what the crap? Oh. Oh, well. The little creature, whatever it was, zipped around the room in a panic as Mr. Monster chased it down, jaws snapping wildly in the air.
I'm Strength, and I'm here to guide you on your.
This is going very well.
I don't believe this. Down at the bones, do something.
Yeah, she's the one that's supposed to do something. Tabby gaped at the wee thing in alarm. She also had no energy left. The fight was as good as over. What did it want from her?
Don't just stand there. Help!
Tabby took one long look at the terrifying creature and the tiny red being running around the desks, and she hightailed it to the corner of the room as far from them as possible.
It's a goddamn monster! I'm just a little girl!
Yeah, it's a goddamn monster! Let it fly, Tabby!
What are you anyway?
I'm a pixie, and I can't handle this thing on my own.
Mr. Monster swiped at Strength, who darted into a high corner of the ceiling temporarily out of his reach. The pixie huffed, eyeing Mr. Monster nervously. He threw an equally nervous glance at Tabby. Suddenly and unexpectedly, Strength brightened up, snapping his finger.
I got it. I'll just give you some candy.
You know what, I'm down. Hey, look at this. I have one of those. I'm holding it right now. Strength whipped out a sparkly wand the size of his body from who knows where. We never want to know where these things come from, do we? Just don't ask.
Candy? How the hell is a piece of candy gonna help us right now? Also, I don't take candy from strangers.
She's well taught.
Eat it, or we'll die. It's magic.
That's all it would really take for me to just eat stranger candy. Mr. Monster pounced at Strength, swiping his claws at the shiny object.
Yeah, no toys in class.
Man, okay, you know what? The voice actor's really nailing it here. I'm pretty sure there's some pitch modulation going on here, but that voice actor's still really putting in that gravel and making it work. The wand flew out of Strength's hand and spun towards Tabby.
Use the wand.
Tabby grabbed it and let out a few practice swings, preparing to bash whatever came her way with it.
Not like that.
I mean, it's a blunt object. Despite hopping desperately through the air to avoid Mr. Monster's claws and jaws, Strength's voice still reached Tabby with a surprisingly clear instruction.
The candy, Tabby! You have to eat
Eat
the
it?
candy.
She has to eat the wand? Nom, 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 nom. While Mr. Monster was still fixated on Strength, Tabby weighed her options. Eat it angrily! That is such a good growl, dude. Tabby gripped the wand with fear and fury. She hated being told what to do, but if it was a choice between suspicious candy and the jaws of a monster, she'd take the jawbreaker any day. But it better not be strawberry flavored. Oh shit! We're getting a cool animation and everything for the transformation. Are you kidding me? That's a real good look. Tabby tried to reorient herself in space, frantically looking for the whereabouts of the monster in the room. This is a good look. This is probably not what she expected at all. Mr. Monster stared back at Tabby, a bewildered expression on his face. He didn't seem to be coming after her just yet, but Tabby scanned the room for any sign of strength. Had he been eaten already? She had been ready to rip into him, demand an explanation for, well, everything. She glanced down at herself, trying to pinpoint the source of the soft jingling noise she kept hearing.
What is this?
A giant pom-pom obstructed her view, but she could see well enough that her usual shades of purple were gone, replaced by a gaudy mix of red and black.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, if you took away my purple, I'd be pretty mad too. Purple happens to be my favorite color, and I mean, I'm a fan of black, but mix it with the purple, and I'm cool with that.
Is this a joke? I knew it. This is a goddamn prank, isn't it?
This is a pretty elaborate joke. If somebody has gone this far to somehow make clothes that can transform after you eat a jawbreaker, they have done, like, you'd have to actually stand back and give them, like, a standing ovation, I think, because that'd be a hell of a prank to pull off.
Oh, that's, new? It's okay. Everything will be okay. We can work with this.
Strength continued rambling, but was nowhere to be seen. Was his voice coming from inside Tabby's brain?
Great. I definitely imagined him.
Well, it seems like we're stuck together. Yep, I can't move at all, and that's totally okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about
I'll just take you through everything. They didn't warn me about this, but it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, we are learning on the job.
God, this is it. I finally cracked. Even my imaginary friends are freaking out.
This is such a good look. Tabby started to shake, half crying, half laughing at the ridiculous situation. The bells on her horrific outfit jingled with her tremors. Mr. Monster tilted his head at the sound, eyes glinting. Ding, ting, ting, tingling.
Watch out!
Mr. Monster was before her in one pounce. His claws raked through the air, straight towards Tabby's head. Whoa! Got spinning. Big spinning now. By pure instinct, Tabby dodged the attack, doing a backflip across the room.
Did I just do that?
Welcome to the world of being a magical girl. It's gonna be so awesome until the trauma kicks in.
That's the power of strength.
But I don't have strength. I can barely do a push-up.
You do now, Tabs. With me at the helm, we're unstoppable. Now get us out of here.
Tabby did feel a little stronger than usual, but a backflip? Maybe that candy was magic.
What else can I do?
Wrangle the monster. I want to strangle this piece of shit. Taking advantage of his hindered speed, Tabby snatched a string of skulls and caution tape off the walls. She was the one running at Mr. Monster. Tabby grinned, knowing he wouldn't be able to lay a single claw on her. She made several tight turns around the beast, wrapping the decorations around his legs with speed and agility. Mr. Monster thrashed around violently, but the makeshift bindings seemed to hold for now.
Huh? Wait. There's something familiar about that monster.
Really?
Those sparkles, maybe? Doesn't that match it?
The decorations around his legs began to tear.
Tabby, that's not gonna hold! Quick, use the wand!
On cue, Tabby swung the wand at Mr. Monster and beat him with it. Look how excited she is to be inflicting violence. This is very similar to my excited to be inflicting violence face.
Not like that!
Wave it around! Tabby aggressively waved the wand at Mr. Monster, managing to smack him in the face again. Mr. Monster slumped back, eyes rolling around in pain.
I said around! Like around!
Tabby moved her arm in a wider circle, swinging the wand above her head like it was a lasso. A soft glow enveloped both of them. As if by magic, Tabby felt the ridiculous outfit she was wearing pop off. Suddenly, she was back in her regular clothes, and the classroom was a disaster. Let's go.
Whew. Glad that worked.
Mr. Monster's whimpers faded into a groan of rapidly approaching middle-aged teacher. The soft light dissipated. Mr. Teacher blinked once, twice. He struggled instinctively against the decorations binding his legs and then looked around the room, horrified. On cue, someone pounded at the door. Oh, this is... Miraculously, the locked door swung open and the students poured in. This is bad. This is not so good. Poor Tabby. It was clear from the sound levels that a small crowd had even formed outside. Gossipy chatter turned immediately into horrified gasps. It was audible from the hall and maybe even from other classrooms.
I thought I felt an earthquake or something. We couldn't get in.
What even happened here? Where's Mr. Teacher? Tabby, what's going on?
Man, I feel like Caleb set her up for this.
Mr. Teacher? Are you alright?
Did you get your ass beaten by Tabby? The other students quickly took in the sight of Tabby looming over their bound and bruised teacher. Yeah, this is not the look you want. Shredded construction paper and wood dust fluttered through the air. Tabby's pride at having defeated a monster quickly shifted into nervous apprehension.
That Tabby is something else. Did she seriously ruin
no!
our decorations?
This is the worst!
How is that what you're worried about? Mr. Teacher looks like he's on the verge of tears.
Is that really his name?
I'm okay. I'm alright. I just...
Okay, well, why was he a monster?
Oh, I think I might have broken a rib. Give me one moment.
Some students had enough presence of mind to remove the decorations around his legs, wincing when the paper crafts tore completely in the process.
Did she beat him up? I didn't know Tabby could be so... I can't even think of a good word.
So horrible.
The last accusation finally shook Tabby out of her stupor.
It's not my fault. It was Mr. Teacher. He wasn't himself.
Is this like unreliable narrator stuff going on? Because we were technically in the room alone with him.
He started throwing stuff at the decorations.
That's impossible. Mr. Teacher wouldn't do that. He loves Halloween.
You weren't there. He turned into a monster.
I can't believe you do all this and lie about it.
Oh no!
Cool.
Now, hold on, guys. Let's hear Mr. Teacher's side of things. Is Tabby telling the truth?
Oh, this is gonna go great.
I'll be in the nurse's
Well,
office.
he's not even gonna say anything, so he's just like, he could still actually totally be a monster. He's just not confirming or denying anything. Mr. Teacher got up with multiple groans and winces, gratefully accepting the support of nearby students.
Why won't he tell them?
Doesn't seem like he's in any shape to say much of anything right now, Tabby.
I can't believe this. I can't believe you guys think it was all my fault.
Whose fault is it then? No one else was in here.
Just calm down, Tabs. If you explain yourself well enough, I'm sure they'll listen.
And they can't see strength.
Take a deep breath. In, out, and elaborate.
I I already did elaborate. There's nothing left to say. I was in the room with Mr. Teacher, and he turned into that horrible beast. He was crushing desks and everything.
Real nice story, Tabby. But what
Damn.
does that have to do with wrecking our decoration?
She's just never beaten that. She's never beaten these allegations.
My poor paper pumpkins.
We're gonna get disqualified now.
But I didn't wreck them, and I wouldn't have even been put in this situation if it wasn't for...
Eat it! Oh, this is not good at all. This all feels like bad, dude. You set this up. You were like if this fucker is not the antagonist of this story, I don't even know what to tell you, man.
This back and forth is getting us nowhere.
Caleb stepped forward and stood between her and the crowd of students. Despite his outburst, he didn't seem angry and smiled kindly at them instead.
I'm sure nobody meant any harm. Things happen, right? Why don't we all just drop the unpleasantness?
For a split second, he directed his smile at
We
Tabby.
can work out the details later. I'll talk to Tabby, and...
We'll go check on Mr. Teacher.
Fantastic idea. Just what I was going to say.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I'll go too.
Thank you, Stu. You're a real trooper. As for everyone else, shoo. I promise. You've got this handled.
At Caleb's authoritative direction, the group that had formed dissipated. After a few seconds, Tabby was alone with the green-haired boy.
So, is this a friend of yours?
What? No! I don't hang out with other people.
Aw, how did I know?
Oh. Ignoring Strink's comment, Tabby focused her attention on Caleb, unsure of what he wanted with her. Or if she could still trust him after he disappeared on her. The last thought faded away as Tabby noticed Caleb with a gremlin of his own on his shoulder. Oh! Unlike Strength, Caleb's pixie companion had a quieter energy. He stared at Tabby with critical and sleepy eyes.
Looks like there was a lot of destruction.
Indeed. And yet our prize seems to have gotten away. For now.
Who are you again?
I am Caleb. We spoke earlier this morrow.
Why does he talk like that? Did
Yeah,
he always talk like that?
I would put this kid's head in a fucking toilet and flush.
No, not you. That. The little guy.
And this little guy would just let it happen because he's like, yeah, this kid is literally insufferable.
The name's Magician. And you are Tabitha.
Hold on. Why does everyone know my name? My full name.
Caleb spoke again, pushing his glasses higher up on the bridge of his nose.
You have my apologies. It would seem as though my plans have slightly... what's the word? Misfired.
Misfired? Misfired? That's more than a misfire, you weirdo! You fixed that crazy monster on me?
The answer to that is ambiguous. Yes and no. Both can be, and indeed are, true.
Alright, he's a cunt. Even if he's a middle school kid, he's a cunt and I hate him.
Can you cut the crap? Explain yourself! And use words under 4 syllables, damn it!
My intentions all along have been to get that horrible bully in detention. He's a menace. An annoying, terrible menace. Like a cicada in an otherwise perfectly brewed cup of coffee.
He did manage to use words that were under 4 syllables, actually. In response, the boy tilted his head to listen as the pixie whispered something into his ear.
What's that? The metaphor makes no sense.
Magician nodded.
Like a cicada in a screen door. All he does is make a racket without any care of who he's scaring.
He stopped for a moment, seeking the pixie's approval. When Magician nodded again, Caleb took it as permission to continue.
As you can see, I'm also a friend of Pixie's. My most powerful ally is Magician, the pixie of manipulate.
Yep! Yeah. All right, well, we got all that figured out now, don't we?
Magical. influence. I can stack any situation in my favor.
Is that
with the
so?
extra power to trigger transformations, often of an unpleasant kind. The assignment was clear from the start. Get Eden to fight the teacher, or wet himself trying. Get Eden sent to detention, ruin Eden's reputation, book a vacation to celebrate, I don't know.
With each word that left Caleb's mouth, Strink's round little face twisted into an increasingly worried frown.
If that was your master plan, you failed, Four Eyes. You got me in hot water instead. Your stupid scheme was super convoluted. You think a big Dumbo like Eden could have survived those teeth long enough to get detention? Even if you wanted to terrify him, you didn't have to deadlock the door. I could have been killed.
The door? But that's never happened before. Our power doesn't work on inanimate objects.
Oh?
I told you it was a terrible plan, Caleb. You should have listened to me.
Caleb frowned, clearing his throat.
I didn't mean for you to get involved, of course, but you were never in any real harm.
I don't know about that. Swiping claws, desks being thrown around, an entire room trashed. I don't know. Yeah, probably.
I would have stepped in. You understand? Had your powers not kicked in.
Yeah, I get the feeling that's absolutely what would have happened.
Everything was still within my calculations. And for your sake, we had to keep the monster contained. It would have been a disaster if the beast rampaged through the school. You might have been blamed for some kind of horrible witchcraft.
Yeah, like that's totally not gonna happen now.
So, you were just looking out for me?
Exactly. You think I would have just abandoned you in your time of need?
Yes!
Yes.
Of course not. I had to play my cards right for our sake.
I don't like you.
Which unfortunately involves subjecting you to close proximity with that orange-haired wretch. But he was almost in our grasp. Look how close we got.
Indeed. Imagine what the two of you could achieve together, fully powered up.
Yes, the heights we could reach, the punishment we could inflict.
Or we don't think about that. I'm a big fan of talking things out instead.
Yeah, I don't even know Strength yet, but I kind of think that he's on the right path here. I don't know what's going on with Caleb, but I just know that everything about him is bad news.
Your execution was patchy at best, but I can agree that it would have been pretty
well,
entertaining to see that guy suffer for
looks
once.
like girl is giving in to her absolute worst instincts. Little lovable gremlin, I love it.
Yes, I knew you would understand. Only we can bring that candy gobbling fool to his knees.
So, what did Eden do to you?
Yeah, what did he do?
What didn't that bully do?
That's very vague.
He got up to every bit of mischief in the book. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd commit arson on my house, if given the chance.
Uh-huh.
I swear, it was that bad.
Yes. Yes! Finally! Someone else who knew what she had been through!
Right? He's always getting up to something. It's so frustrating.
It's always like this. He starts the fight and then kicks you while you're down.
Tabby nodded, eyes glistening with vindication.
Things are different now, though. Even a wounded dog will bite. And anyone who would kick a poor, innocent, bone-loving puppy should expect a gnawing of teeth. The teeth of vengeance.
So what you're saying is, technically, we're not the ones in the wrong here.
Clearly not!
Eden is an annoying prick. So when I argued with Eden, it was probably his fault.
I don't... Well, I mean, I guess this is where we're going. You do you, Tabby.
Huh?
Yes.
In that case, what I really need to do is to use my powers to purge evil.
Yes.
What?
Like you said, there's nothing more evil than tormenting an already tortured soul.
Tabby grinned, gleefully coming to her conclusion.
So if Eden is evil, then I can blast it!
Oh, Strength, what have you created?
Yes!
No!
No!
You crazy! Tabby, You're not gonna blast some random kid!
I literally can't have you committing murder!
He's not just some random kid, Strength. He's my rival. He's demented and cruel. Just look at him. Who knows what kind of fucked up and wicked plans are brewing under those cheap, box-dyed highlights.
You know, I would actually, like, bleep all the curses in this script. Like, if I was the director and I was making this game, I would actually, like, I think it would be way funnier to bleep children cursing. I think that if South Park taught us anything, that's actually pretty funny. It's actually a lot funnier than hearing her say fuck. Just my own observation, of course. Not that, like, devs are ever gonna see this, but...
He's asking for a blasting.
If you blast him, you'll go to magic jail!
You don't want to go to magic jail?
He's asking for a...
That's even worse than gay baby jail!
Highly metaphorical blasting.
A legal and purely metaphorical blasting.
Well, as fun as it would be to vaporize every annoying person on Earth, there are other ways to get revenge on them.
Fun? Wait, revenge?
What's wrong with some healthy spite, Strength? You look like someone pissed in your cereal.
Tabby, we can't be talking about the same stuff here. Vanquishing evil is cool, but you're getting it all wrong. Evil isn't just whatever you don't like.
I need everybody in the world right now to see one text box in a video game. And it's this one.
Well, it seems you're being outvoted at the moment. None of us like it.
Real strength happens when you want to move heaven and earth for a just cause, right?
And our cause is most certainly just.
That's right! With my new powers, I'm gonna vanquish the greatest evil to ever plague our lives.
Oh, jeez.
An 8th grade boy?
An 8th grade boy!
Dunzo! The next day. It was a dark and stormy Tuesday. It being a dark and stormy Tuesday, I should probably save my video game now. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there for now. This was incredibly good, though. Like, this is legitimately charming, legitimately hilarious. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what to even make of Tabby right now. And Caleb, big piece of shit energy, obviously. So we know what that's gonna be like. But for now, absolutely, like, I'm looking forward to what this full thing is going to be. This is obviously very cool. Very charming, very fun. So yeah, there'll be options down there under the video to check it out for yourself. I do believe that this final release is actually going to be free as well. So absolutely do give this a check out. Do give this a check out. I don't think that that's how you word that. No, that's not how I would word that. At any rate, absolutely check this out. Get it on your wish list. I think it's gonna be pretty rad. This has been the magician. This magical girl is a bitch. I hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, wherever it is you are, and we will catch you next time. Bye.